Hello everybody, it's Kim over at Life Prepared. Today I'm just going to show you my simple way of turning pie pumpkins into puree so that I can use them in various recipes. And believe me, I have a recipe coming up in a video very soon that you are going to be amazed with. Alright, so all I did, I had 3 pumpkins that I picked up at the farmer's market. They were $1 a piece. These are pie pumpkins. Believe it or not, you can use different types of squash. I've used buttercap, butternut, everything else, you know, one that is more sweet, and I've used them to make pies. So, you know, just don't worry if you can't find pumpkins in your area. Think about maybe an alternative. I've even used a Hubbard squash once, and I think I made like, I don't know, the thing weighed 50 pounds. It was ridiculous. But all I did was, of course, I cut them in half. I removed the seeds, and I don't clean them that spectacular, but I removed the seeds, and I'm saving those for later. You could see I have them here. I was cleaning them off, but I wanted to show you this real quick. I saved some to plant and then some to eat. So, you know, pumpkin seeds, all winter squash seeds are edible, and you can use them in various recipes. If you've never seen a Hubbard squash that's really big, those seeds are huge, and it's kind of fun to watch a kid eat a Hubbard squash seed that's probably like that big. Okay, so get back on track. So I cut my pumpkins in half, and then what I did was I actually cut them into chunks. I know this is a small crock pot. I've had this for like, I don't know, 35 years. Even the foot's broke off, but I just prop it up. And I put my pumpkin chunks in there. The first, excuse me, I got the hiccups. The first row goes skin side down because I do not add any water to this. This will make its own juices soon enough. And then I just fill it till it gets up to here. Right now I have it on high. And I'm not worried about it because it's propped open. These in an hour or so will soften up. I'll be able to push them down, chop these up, add them to it, and then I turn it on low and I let it go overnight. Because if you guys know me at all, you know I usually have like 10 things going at the same time. So that's what I'm doing tonight. It's, you know, 9 o'clock at night. I could throw this on, put it on low, worry about it in the morning. Usually sometime during the night, if it's getting pretty done, I just hit it to warm, because my warm is like 150 degrees, and it'll stay good till morning. And then I'll come back and I'll scrape out the softened pumpkin. I'll show you how easy that is. This is not the only way to do it. This is how I do it. You can do it in your oven. I've seen people steam them. I've seen people peel the pumpkin, all the rinds off, and chop them into chunks. Right now it's 85 degrees out at my house at 9 o'clock at night. It's unseasonably warm, and I do not want to warm up my kitchen. It's faster, but it is what it is. So this is how I do it. And just to let you know, videos may be a little slow this week. My cat Colby is sick. We had him at the emergency vet. It's Sunday. I don't know what day it is, September 18th, whatever the Sunday is. He'll be okay, but he's going to need some extra nursing care and some IV fluids that I'll be doing at home. So I'm going to put these out as fast as I can. But at the end of this video, towards the end, I'm going to tell you something special I got permission to do with this pumpkin puree, and I think you're really going to like it. So stay tuned, and I'll see you tomorrow. I've been doing my pumpkin is quite easy. I just take a piece out of the crock pot, and you'll see it just scoops right off the rind, and I just put it in a bowl. I let this cool for a little bit because obviously I would burn my fingers off if I didn't. And if it's got a lot of water in it, I let it sit for a while, because if there's a lot of water in here, I make kind of a well in the middle, and you can usually dip that out with a spoon or something like that. And if it's really, really watery, which, you know, depending on what kind of pumpkin or squash that you use, it could be quite watery. You could always put it back in the crock pot and simmer it for a little while until it's the consistency you want. I find letting it sit out usually works pretty good. And with me, the extra pumpkin rinds, I just send them out to the turkeys and chickens, and they'll pick off any little bits that are left. And then I can, since the rinds are now nice and soft, they will compost easier. Or a lot of times I feed them to my pigs and they eat them. But it just makes it a lot faster for me to do it this way. Unfortunately, I was up a lot with my cat over the night, so I didn't have to deal with it until this morning. All right, so that's all I do for the next step, and I'll go on from there. Okay, the pumpkin is all cleaned. You can see there's the rind. Now what I do is I make a well in the middle, so if it's too wet, all that water will come and kind of collect up in that little well, and I can scoop it off if I want to. But usually the consistency, because you see there's quite a bit of the liquid from the pumpkin in the bottom, this seems to be a good consistency, but I wait until it's cool to determine that. Now don't throw this stuff away. You can use it in any kind of baking or in a soup. It makes a great winter soup beginning stock, and of course you get all those nutritions and vitamins and nutrients and things like that. So there we go. That is my pumpkin puree. Entire hands-on time was maybe 20 minutes to scoop all the pumpkin off of that, because I take my time and I try to scrape it well, and 15-20 minutes to chop it up and throw it in my crock pot. So there you go, simple pumpkin puree. You can change the consistency. If it's a little dry, add some of the liquid back. If it's too wet, let it come to the surface and scoop it off, stir it, and then let it sit again. And I found a little piece of rind in there, and you find that often. I did not puree this. I did nothing to it except stir it up with a spoon. So there you go, how I make basic pumpkin puree. Now, I told you at the end here, I would tell you something super special. I received permission from Chef Glenn over at backpackingchef.com to share one of his recipes that I used as a backpacker, but I think it's going to make an excellent way to keep this pumpkin shelf stable, and all of this should fit in a small jar. And I'll show you how to do that in an upcoming video. Please have a wonderful day.